Hello, and welcome to this installment of Ask Dr. Shane. Today I'm going to talk to you about infidelity. Why do cheaters cheat? And I'm going to talk about two types of cheaters, happy ones and unhappy ones. But before I go any further, let me make this disclaimer. This is in no way to be mistaken, misconstrued, or somehow other implicit of psychotherapy. It is not. I'm just sharing with you observations I've made over the years, ones that I write about in my book Over My Left Shoulder, which is Ask Dr. Shane. The Black Manual. And so I'm going to just share some of this about infidelity. So let's talk about the two types of cheaters. First is the happy cheaters. The happy cheater is kind of Tiger Woods. You know, people interview Tiger Woods, and by all signs, he was very happy with his wife. Yet cheated anyways. And subsequent studies or subsequent findings of Tiger Woods will definitely indicate that he ended up with a sexual addiction. I say all that to say when someone is happy and they cheat, you're more likely dealing with possibly an addiction, possibly untreated ADHD, possibly some other type of a challenge where impulsivity is involved and an inability to curtail their behavior, or just downright a sexual addiction. So that's one type of cheater that very, very difficult to work with. And if you find yourself in that situation, I strongly encourage you to go talk to a professional or maybe a sex addiction specialist. The next type of cheater is the unhappy cheater. And believe it or not, I get relaxed. When people come in and they tell me about the infidelity, I say, well, tell me about what happened right before the infidelity or what led up to the infidelity. And they talk about things such as, well, you know, I needed her to find a way to make peace with my mother. I hadn't been there for holidays the last couple of years, and my mom and I were getting kind of estranged, and it really bothered me. Or I wanted to go into a business, and he wouldn't let me. Every time I talked about doing it, he just wouldn't hear it. He said, no, stay at that job, and you can do this maybe after you retire in 25 years. And that wasn't consistent with my plan for my life. Or one of us had a kid, and there was a rift, and it was causing us to really have problems with our child. And we felt really, really bad about that because our kid was important, and we wanted both of their loves, and they couldn't work it out. It's a relief, because now I know I could treat the problem instead of the symptom. Infidelity is typically a symptom of some unresolved problem. It's kind of like people feel upside down in their marriage. You remember when the real estate bust happened in 2006, 2007, and people had just purchased these houses and they were excited to get a contract accepted, and come to find out just a few months later it bust. And they say, well, you know, I bought this in this great area and da-da-da-da-da. And they talk to the neighbors, and the neighbor says, well, how much you pay? Well, I paid X minus $40,000. Well, when you buy? 6 months ago. Talk to another neighbor, what you pay? X minus $80,000. I bought a year ago. And then someone moves in new, and they go to the open house, and they see that house, which is identical to their house, is $50,000 less. So you feel upside down. And the same happens with the marriage, is when one partner feels upside down, they really can justify their behaviors. So as I wrap things up here, I want to tell you the first thing that I do with these couples as I ask them is, what conversation did you need to have? And we'll have that conversation. Well, you know, I'd be willing to do the business part-time, but you got to let me do it. I'm not going to wait till I retire. Let me do it part-time, and I'll keep my full-time job. And when I can't afford to go to work anymore, I'll find a way to terminate or transition. Yeah, I see your son or your daughter is really important to you. You know, we're going to have to figure this out, but I'm on your side. Or, yeah, I'm going to call your mom. I'm going to try and work things out, but if not, I'll at least go with you, and I'll find a way to make it through those visits. So how do we have the conversation that stops them from being and feeling betrayed, so that we treat the problem and not the symptom? Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. If you're interested in learning more about my work, go to www.askdrshane.com, and I really do talk about it in my book, The Black Manual, that you see over my shoulder. Make it a great day.